Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to the channel if you are new. Welcome back to the channel if you are a returning viewer. Hopefully you are. And I'm getting back into the my little playoff history videos here of picking at least one series from each year that since at least that I've been watching hockey. That was very memorable. Now, granted, I'm still in the middle of when I was still a kid, growing up as I was getting into hockey, and that was, of course, in the 1980s. And some of the series in the 1980s, wow, were they something? Were they something to behold? And the one that I've gotten up to now, I'm up to 1986, and I'm looking at the 1986. Move this up here. I'm looking at the 1986 the 1986 Smythe Division Final, which a lot of us would know as Round 2. And this series was very memorable for one in particular reason that definitely kind of goes down in infamy, so to speak. So we start out here. Now, they played 80-game seasons at this time. The Edmonton Oilers, or the Calgary Flames, they finished second in the division. They had a record of 40-31-9 for 89 points. Not too bad, second, good enough for second place. They're playing the team that, by the way, is coming off back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. They're trying to make it a three-peat. They do not make it a three-peat. They finish with a record, though, of 56-17-7, 119 points. So that is 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. It's 89, 19, 1. That's a 40-point difference. This is a 40-point spread between these two teams. These teams finished first and second, by the way, in the Smythe division at that time. 40-point difference? Really? Yeah, really. Insane. But, and again, the Oilers are coming off back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. I believe they knocked out Winnipeg in the first round. I forgot to kind of look into that one to see who each team knocked out. I'll look more into that as it goes. But yeah, they met here in the Smythe Division Final, and yeah, what a series this ended up being. So we get into Game 1. Calgary stuns Edmonton in Game 1. They win Game 1 4-1, or 4-1. Oy. Boy, am I already getting ahead of myself? They win Game 1 4-1. So we get into the first period, just a minute 27 into the first period. Lanny McDonald starts off the series with a goal at 1 minute and 27 seconds to give the Flames a 1-0 lead, assisted from Gary Suter and John Tonelli. So that's 1-0 for the Flames, looking good. Then they jump up. They make it 2-0. At 7:38, it is Gary Suter, father of Ryan Suter, by the way, from Jim Poplinski and John Tonelli. So it's 2-0 at the end of the first period in Edmonton, by the way. So I mean, they're already shocking the Oilers right now. I mean, the Oiler fans were like, "Wait, what's going on here?" Second period, there's no scoring throughout the second period up until the 1948 mark of the second period. On the power play, Edmonton gets back in it. It is Glenn Anderson from Wayne Gretzky and Paul Coffey. So that makes it 2-1 on the power play. One thing about, because when I do these videos, I look at everything up on Hockey Reference. When looking at, when I'm trying to find, the penalty kill stats or the power play stats, all they give is the penalty summaries. which means that's all the penalties in each game, which back in this you'd have like 40 penalties on each side. It was insane. So, unfortunately, I can't really give any power play or penalty kill stats because they don't really show any, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, Anderson scores on the power play to make it 2-1 to end the second period. So we go into the third period. The Flames up 2-1, and just 40 seconds in, the Flames make it 3-1. It is Joey Mullen from Jim Poplinski and Jamie McCowan. So that makes it 3-1, just 40 seconds in. The Oiler fans have just got to be going, what in the hell is happening? It's crazy, right? A team that's 40 points behind you in the regular season, they're shocking you in game one here. Well, and then at 9:09, it is Hakan Lube, and yes, that was his name, Hakan. I always thought that was a cool name. I always thought that was a cool name growing up. I'm like, name your kid Hakan, but that's that's European for it, Hakan Lube makes it 4-1 from Colin Wilson and Colin Patterson. So that's 4-1. That ends up being the final in game one. So the Flames take a 1-0 lead in the series. So they've taken home ice away from the Oilers. Game two. Oh, also the goaltenders, Mike Vernon stopped 30 of 31 for a .968 save percentage in the game. Grant Fuhr stopped 29 of 33 for an .879. Not great. Game two, though, we get into game two, and this one's a little different. The Oilers come out, and the Oilers win this one. They tie the series up. First period, though, at 11:23, shorthanded, it is Hakan Lube. He makes it 1-0 Oilers, or 1-0 Flames. Boy, I'm good at mixing stuff up today. But in the last minute of the first period, though, the Oilers get back in. It is Glenn Anderson from Paul Coffey to tie the game at 1 apiece to end the first period. And we get into the second period. Second period, Flames go back up again. It is Gary Suter again from John Tonelli and Reggie Lemelin. Now, Mike Vernon did not start game two. It was Reggie Lemelin. Which, did Vernon get hurt? Not entirely sure. But yeah, Vernon did not play in game two. So Suter makes it 2-1 from Tonelli and Lemelin. So Lemelin gets an assist. But then just 31 seconds later, it is Randy Gregg from Mark Messier and Greg Lumley. Let me see here, just for reference here. What was his name? Yeah, it was. I think it was Greg. Yeah, I think it was Greg Lumley. I think that was his name. But yeah, Lumley gets an assist there. So it's 2-2. Then, on the power play, Calgary makes it 3-2. It is Dan Quinn from Paul Reinhart. A lot of people might know the Reinhart last name. His son Sam had the Stanley Cup winning goal this year. Yeah, his son's pretty darn good player. So his dad here, Paul Reinhart, gets an assist to give Calgary a 3-2 lead in this in game two. And then they go up 4-2. It is Joe Mullen from Joel Otto at 15:40. So the Flames are up 4-2. It's looking like are they really going to steal two from the Oilers in Edmonton? Not so fast. We get into the third period, They're up 4-2 after 2 are the Flames. We get into the third period, just 44 seconds in. It is Craig McTavish from Dave Hunter and Paul Coffey to make it 4-3. Then at 11:22, it is Mark Napier tying the game at 4 from one of the more longer names that we've seen here, Mike Krushelnyski and Fogelin. So it's 4-4. It is 4-4, and then at 16:46, the Oilers take the lead for the first time. It is Dave Hunter from Yari Curry and Wayne Gretzky to make it 5-4 Oilers at the 16:46 mark of the third period. So, hey, they're hanging in there. They finally got the lead. Can they hold it? Not so much. At 18:40, it is Joe Mullen from Doug Risebrough and Paul Reinhart. So that ties the game at 5 apiece. So we go to overtime, and overtime doesn't last too long. Just a minute 40 in, it is Glenn Anderson from Lumley and Charlie Huddy to make it 6-5 to tie the series for the Oilers and go back to Calgary tied at 1 game apiece. Reggie Lemelin stopped 23 of 29 shots for a .793 save percentage. Yee, ouch. Grant Fuhr didn't fare that much better, though. He went 26 of 31 for an .839 save percentage. So not the best there either. So the series is tied at 1. We go into game 3. And Calgary again. They kind of get home ice. They kind of get home ice back here. The first period here, we get into the first period on the power play. It is Paul Reinhart getting on the board for Calgary first, but from John Tonelli and Lanny McDonald. So it's 1-0 Calgary. Then just before, again, these last minute goals are killers sometimes. 19:31 of the first, Wayne Gretzky from Yari Curry and Mike Krushelnyski ties the game at 1. So the game is tied at 1 after the first period. Going into the second period here, we're we're about the halfway point of the second period. At 9:59, it is Patterson scoring from Lube and Suter to make it 2-1 Calgary. Put them back in the lead. And that's the only goal of the second period. So we get into the third period, and it is Glenn Anderson at a minute 16 ties the game from Gretzky and Hunter 2-2. Got a game now. But then at 7:32, getting what ends up being the game winner at 7:32, Joel Otto from Jamie McCowan and Joe Mullen makes it 3-2. That ends up being the final score. The Oilers or the Flames win 3-2. They take the series lead 2-1. Grant Fuhr making 35 saves on 38 shots for a .921 save percentage. Decent game. Mike Vernon only faced 19 shots. So the defense played really well here. And, he stopped 17 and 19, only an .895 save percentage, but his team played pretty good defense in front of him. So we go to game 4. And this one had a lot of scoring. We go into the first period here. It's scoreless throughout a good chunk of the first period. But then, for literally what looks like it took until game 4 for the Oilers to finally score the first goal of the series, or to score the first goal in the game. It is Craig McTavish on the power play. It's 16:47 from Gretzky and Curry to make it 1-0 Oilers. Then, just 20 seconds later, literally 20 seconds later, again on the power play, it is Gretzky this time. From Krushelnyski and McTavish, it's 2-0 Oilers after 1. Second period starts, and the Flames get right back into it. 16 seconds into the first period, it is Jim Poplinski from Joe Mullen and Joel Otto to make it 2-1. But then the Oilers, they get that 2-goal lead back. Shorthanded, it is Jari Kurri from Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier, 3 of the big guns for the Oilers at that time, make it 3-1. But then again, the Flames, they try to hang in there. On the power play again, at 7:21, it's Joel Otto from Lube and Suter. Makes it 3-2. Calgary's hanging, they're doing their best to hang around here. But then, a minute 10 later, it is Craig McTavish from Krushelnyski and Napier at 8:31 to make it 4-2 for the Oilers. And, get that 2-goal lead back. But again, Calgary doesn't go away. At 18:35, it is Paul Reinhart from Al McInnes and Lanny McDonald to make it 4-3. Not bad. Not, they might fall behind, but they're hanging in there. So then we go into the third period, and again, the Oilers, they get that 2-goal lead back. At a minute 51, it is Wayne Gretzky from Glenn Anderson and Esa Tikkanen to make it 5-3. And then basically the Oilers kind of put it away. At 7:09, it is Tikkanen from McSorley to make it 6-3. But again, then you got, Calgary, they're going down swinging. On the power play at 11:17, it is Joel Otto from Gary Suter. It is 6-4. But that's as close as they get. And then to literally put the game away on the power play at 12:01, it is Gretzky from Huddy to make it 7-4, and that is and that's the final 7-4. Grant Fuhr stopped 36 of 40 shots, pretty good game for a .900 save percentage. Mike Vernon, he got yanked in this game. He gave up 14. He gave up 7 goals, stopping 14 of 21 for a .667 save percentage. Reggie Lemelin comes in relief and stops all 6 shots that he faced. Now, you might wonder, you only got 4 games on this one. Didn't this thing go 7? Yes, it did. Thanks to that nice 7-4 game. I had to use the little one. So we get onto the little one. We get into game 5, and the series is tied 2-2. We go back to Edmonton for game 5, and Calgary comes out and makes a statement after losing 7-4. They come out and make a statement in game 5. Last minute of the first period again. Those last minute goals can be killers. 19:29. It is Dan Quinn from Lube and Jamie McCowan to make it 1-0 Calgary. That's the score after the first period. Second period, 5:35 in. It is Gretzky from Hunter and Coffey to tie the game at 1. Again, it doesn't stay that way. At 12:35, it is Lanny McDonald from Risebrough and Reinhart. You hear Paul Reinhart's name a lot. And so that makes it 2-1. And then at 14:59, Joel Otto from Joe Mullen makes it 3-1 Flames. So the score after 2 periods is 3-1. And then in the third period, at 1944, into the empty net, it is Jamie McCowan to make it 4-1 to win the game for the Calgary Flames, to put them up 3-2 in the series. And, so they're up 3-2 going back home. So, that's pretty good, right? Of course, we look at the goaltender stats. Mike Vernon stopped 30 of 31 shots for a .968 save percentage. Grant Fuhr stopped 29 of 32 for a .906 save percentage. Not bad. I mean, still not a terrible save percentage. Game 6, Edmonton comes back and says, "Yeah, we're not going out yet." Like, yeah, okay, yeah, we're not going out like that. So we come out into Game 6. There's no scoring in the first period, but into the second period at 4:42. Now again, Calgary getting the first goal. It was crazy. Calgary strikes first again, though, in the second period at 4:42 on the power play. It is Mullen from Suter and Lube. And then, barely, not even 2 minutes later, it is Tonelli from Risebrough and Reinhardt. So it's 2-0. 2-0 Calgary. They jump onto a 2-0 lead on home ice with a chance to knock out the two-time defending champions. The crowd's got to be feeling real good. Pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, that doesn't last long. At 8:21, so a little over 2 minutes after going up 2-0, the Oilers get back into the game. At 8:21, it is Esa Tikkanen from Curry and Smythe. Steve Smythe. Watch for that name. Watch for that name later on here. So that makes it 2-1. Gets the Oilers back into it. And then on the penalty kill, shorthanded at 16:20, it is Mark Messier from Lowe and Fuhr. Grant Fuhr getting an assist here to tie the game at 2. Then, so it's a 2-2. So it's a 2-2 tie after the first period. Then we get into the third period. Get almost to the halfway point, and then at 7:24, it is Glenn Anderson giving the Oilers the lead from Coffey and Gretzky. Ends up being the game winner. It's 3-2 Oilers. Then into the empty net at 19:38, it is Mike Krushelnyski from Gretzky and Lowe to make it 4-2. And then just to really rub salt in the wound, basically, here, at 19:49, so just 11 seconds later, it is McTavish from Coffey to make it 5-2. The series is tied at 3 apiece, going back to Edmonton. Grant Fuhr stopped 22 of 24 for a .917 save percentage. Mike Vernon stopped 34 of 38 for an .895 save percentage. Not the greatest, but we go back to Edmonton for Game 7. So Game 7, we get into the crucial Game 7, and again, Calgary strikes first. Shorthanded, it is Hakan Lube again from Doug Risebrough to make it 1-0 Calgary. Then barely 2 minutes into the second period. So it ends. So the first period ends 1-0. We get into the second period. At 2:08 of the second period, it is Jim Poplinski from McDonald and Vernon. Vernon getting an assist makes it 2-0 Calgary. Again, the Oiler fans have they're like, like, what is happening here again? But Glenn Anderson makes it 2-1 at 10:47 from Gretzky and Krushelnyski. So it's 2-1. Oilers have some life. And then at 19:09, it is Mark Messier tying the game from Yari Curry to end the second period at 2 apiece. So it's a 2-2 tie, and we go into the third period. And there's only one goal. There's only one goal that is scored in that third period. Now the credit goes to Perry Berezin at 5 minutes and 14 seconds. But Berezin didn't technically score the goal. He just happened to be the last Flame player that touched it. He dumps the puck into the zone. Steve Smythe goes behind the net to play it. And as Grant Fuhr, and I still see this in my, anytime heartbreaking. As Steve Smythe goes to play it, Grant Fuhr is going back into his net. Steve Smythe tries to, flip the puck up to get it, up the middle, up through the slot and out of the zone, right? Well, as he does that, he hits Grant Fuhr in the back of the leg, and the puck goes in the net. So Perry Berezin gets credit for the goal because Steve Smythe puts the puck in his own net. He banked it off his own goaltender into the net at 5:14. Now, there was plenty of time still in this game for the Oilers to try and take this burden off of Steve Smythe. They couldn't do it. They could not do it. The Calgary Flames win Game 7. They advance to the Campbell Conference Final. Of course, they would end up going to the Stanley Cup Final. They would lose in the Stanley Cup Final. But Steve Smythe, you talk about a heartbreaking, just a heartbreaking moment. What a heck of a way to end your season. Oh, putting the puck in your own net. And you know damn well he probably still hears about that stuff today. But Mike Vernon, he stopped 22 of 24 for a .917 save percentage. Grant Fuhr went 18 of 21 for an .857. And yeah, the Calgary Flames knock out the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers 4-3, 40 points behind them in the standings, but they take them out of the playoffs. And again, Steve Smythe scores into his own net, and that basically propels the Calgary Flames on their run to the 1986 Stanley Cup Final. So, yeah, that is the 1986 Smythe Division Final. Probably tomorrow I will get into as I damn near knock stuff into things. So yeah, tomorrow I'll try to get into the 1987, the 1987 series that I plan on looking at. And that one I believe is going to be an interesting one too. I think there's a couple different ones that I was looking at. Yep, that's the one I was looking at. That's the one. Yeah, the 1987 one, the 1987 series for tomorrow, that's going to be fun to look at too. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, some of you guys will tune in. I know history videos, unfortunately, don't get a lot of views, but these are fun to look back on, and I kind of enjoy doing them. And, hopefully some of you guys will tune into it. So yeah. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit that subscribe button if you definitely like the video. Takes about half a second. Hit that little thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. And, if you want to share this video with friends, with family, with whoever, go ahead and share this with, whoever you would like. And yeah. So, yeah, if you hit that subscribe button, that would tell me that, hey, you enjoy the video and you would like to come back and see more. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the 1986 Smythe Division Final. And let me know, too, in the comments section, what series do you think I'll talk about for the 1987, for my 1987 memorable Stanley Cup series? Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Again, hit like and subscribe. Share this video with whoever you would like. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.